We've got some things in front of us that will probably be too heavy for the table and may well break it. Now, what I've got before you is some, they call themselves the world's best dumbbells. I will just have a little chat about them. In another video, we've spoken about the benefits of runners and in fact everyone doing resistance training. And if you're in a situation where you've not got an awful lot of room and you want flexibility in terms of what you're lifting, this may well be a great solution for you. Now, if you like what you're hearing, can I ask a favour? Could you please subscribe and could you please tick that thumbs up button? The subscription really makes a difference and so does that thumbs up. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, I'd appreciate it greatly. Now, these are called PowerBlocks, made by a company called PowerBlocks, and these are the urethane model, called urethane because they're covered in a rubbery, plasticky rubbery urethane coating, which actually helps them to last an awful long time and also protects any surfaces they may bump against. The benefit of dumbbells like this is that you get a whole range of dumbbells in one little block that you easily adjust. You can get 3 sets of these. I've got the middle set in terms of weight. You can pay an extra, quite a considerable amount of money actually, to get a little bit more, another 2 of these weights just to take it up by another 15 kilos a side. I didn't want to bother with that because this was enough for me. This particular set goes from 1 kilo using 1 adder weight right up to 41 kilos or 2 pounds right up to 90 pounds. And that's per side. That's the kind of range that these give you. Now, the huge benefit of these, as I said, is that they are adjustable. So you've got a handle here that slips in and selects the weight you want. On its own, you've just got the bare handle. It's 2.5 kilos, 3.5 or 4.5 kilos with the adder weights. And the way you adjust 1 kilo at a time is with these metal weights here. They will sit in a stand. I'll talk to you about stand in a moment. You've got 2 of these and they're 1 kilo each. And the idea is that you vary your weights between these big black weights and these 1 kilo weights. And so an empty handle plus the white weight gives you 11.5. And one thing I would recommend straight away is if you're using these sets and you want to make progress is to buy yourself some very cheap 1 kilo add-on weights, wrist weights or something. So instead of having to make that jump from 9 to 11.5, you can go from 9 to 10 per side. They're very easy to select the weights. If you want to take this rubber thing here, you put it in just like that, and you've got your selection there, or you can select any particular weight category you want. And once you've got your weight category, you can then simply lift your weight out and use it in the way you would do and slot it back in there once you've finished. Very easy, very flexible. In terms of the handles themselves, they've got a lovely rubber coating here, which protects your wrist when you're using them. The grip in the middle is a very, not squishy rubber, but a good rubbery grip. It will stand the test of time. It doesn't come off or decay in any way. These are a solid dumbbell. I've used these for an awful long time actually, and they've stood the test of time very, very, very well, which is why I thought I would review them. They're not cheap to buy, but they really are worth their weight, or probably not their weight in gold if I'm honest, but they're worth a lot in terms of exercise, in terms of flexibility, in terms of space saving and the usability. I wouldn't go for the bigger set myself as well because they can get quite big, and holding something that wide above your head, especially if you're doing shoulder presses, can interfere with your head itself. So as they are at the moment, they don't, and I find there are no exercises where I feel restricted because of the size of the dumbbells. They're actually okay for everything. And you can use the heavier weights for bench pressings. So these will go up to the equivalent of an 82 kilo bench press. That's about 180 pounds. So that gives you an awful lot of flexibility. I would recommend, if you're buying a set of these, that you buy the stand as well. And that's simply because it's very easy and simple to put them back on the stand when you're finished. You don't have to bend down to the floor. If you're using them with a bench, it just makes life a lot easier. You don't have to drop them on the floor. You can just place them on the stand. If you in fact want to go for the top of the range version, this stand won't take the weight and it's not quite big enough, so you have to buy an even more expensive stand, which is again maybe another reason why I'd bother with the top of the range set. A, it was too wide. B, it would require a much more expensive stand. And when I say too wide, again I mean too wide to lift in certain situations. I felt it would interfere with my head when I did shoulder press, and also it would make it very difficult in certain situations when doing bench press, etc, etc. So in terms of weightlifting, I will link to another video that I'll do on the pros and cons of weightlifting, and I'll also put some links in the description as to where you can buy these in the UK. They're not cheap, but they are worth their money, and they're very safe, and they're very secure, they're very stable, and they're very flexible. Now, if you like what you're hearing, can I ask a favor? Could you please subscribe and could you please tick that thumbs up button? The subscription really makes a difference and so does that thumbs up. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, I'd appreciate it greatly. Now, if you've got a set of these and you've got an opinion on them, please leave it in the comments down below. If you like them or don't like them for any particular reason, please let me know below. If there are any good, maybe even cheaper alternatives, perhaps you could let me know. Apart from that, can I thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Everyone, can I welcome you to another video? And we're not at the table today because we've got some things in front of us that will probably be too heavy for the table and may well break it. Now, what I've got before you is they call themselves the world's best dumbbells. I will just have a little chat about them. In another video, we've spoken about the benefits of runners and in fact everyone doing resistance training. And if you're in a situation where you've not got an awful lot of room and you want flexibility in terms of what you're lifting, this may well be a great solution for you. Now, if you like what you're hearing, can I ask a favor? Could you please